Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and welcome to another fantastic game of StarCraft 2. This one once again being played between Complexity CrunCher, the orange Protoss down here in the bottom left corner of Typhon Peaks, and his opponent, the pink Terran up here in the top left. It is Claves, aka MarineKing Prime, playing on a borrowed North America BattleNet account. And this is Game 2 in a best of 3 series. Currently, if you haven't watched the first game yet, you should go watch right now because I'm about to spoil the score. CrunCher is leading 1-0. That first map, Xel'Naga Caverns, showed us that CrunCher knows how to defend a base, he knows how to hide a pylon, and he knows how to build 4 warp gates, as every good Protoss player should. MarineKing Prime tried to be a little bit sneaky with a proxy Rax. It didn't quite work out for him, so let's see if Typhon Peaks will hold something a little bit different for our South Korean player, MarineKing Prime. And CrunCher back at his base, just chrono boosting out some probes. That is, of course, going to help him get an advantage in the worker count until MarineKing Prime can get some mules out. He will be a little bit behind economically as a result. And if CrunCher does what he always does against Terran opponents and steals his assimilator, or steals his Vespene Geyser, I should say, with an assimilator, then MarineKing Prime might be pigeonholed into another sort of build. And maybe he doesn't want to build 10 million Marines this game. Maybe he wants to do some tanks. Maybe he wants to do some Banshees. We may never know if CrunCher does another gas steal. And he just pushes that female Karak out of the way, or Carrick, or whatever it is. Back at home, CrunCher just doing a very standard Protoss build so far. Nothing sneaky, nothing crazy. Cybernetics Core should be the next structure up, if not a second pylon. And we'll see if he gets that second pylon built. It looks like he is going towards the visibility blocked area with that second pylon. So next we should be seeing the Cybernetics Core right when around the time this gateway finishes anyway. MarineKing Prime does have the very standard Terran build going on right now, along with that first Marine, the very, very standard first Marine. Is he going to try and finish this wall off? He does have enough gas for an add-on, and we do see a reactor coming up for MarineKing Prime. CrunCher's going to show up with his probe just a slight tad bit too late. He gets pinned right up in there to the reactor and the supply depot. And the single Marine for MarineKing Prime will manage to get a lovely scout kill under his belt. He is still a recruit, though. Don't let the one kill go to your head. You need 4 more before you can get a promotion. So looks like the SCV of MarineKing Prime is still taking a look around in CrunCher's base. No gas steal is going to be possible. That just dawned on me now that that probe is dead. So CrunCher is going to have to switch it up a little bit. Looks like Warp Gate Tech still coming along nicely, and that first sentry coming out right on time as well. So he will be able to force field. That second gas and the fact that he's getting a sentry so early makes me think he's going to go for some advanced tech and not really a lot of gateways. We'll see though. Especially since he definitely can't hide a pylon this time. And MarineKing Prime not really showing anything too aggressive either. He did wall off, which sometimes can mean, you know, hey, I want to tech up for a bit. Otherwise, they'll just leave it open and have a ton of barracks be their defense instead. But right now we have the 1 barracks with the reactor. We have a factory coming up as well, working off of 2 gas now, so he's probably glad that he is able to actually build a refinery there instead of having to shoot down an assimilator first. Factory is getting a tech lab on it. Could mean siege tanks, could actually, I will bet on siege tanks because he is MarineKing Prime and nothing goes better with Marines than siege tanks do. Blue Flame Hellions are nice, but really there's no information that MarineKing's gotten so far that tells him the Blue Flame Hellions are a good idea. There's no fast expand. If you were able to get them in here, they would do a lot of damage, it looks like, but it would be very hard to get them in until he had some medevacs. So we'll see what happens here with the starport as well. And look over here, CrunCher is going to go for higher tech a little bit quicker this time. He's getting a Stargate and then 2 more gateways back at home. So having this little base of operations here means that he can get Void Rays or Phoenixes very quickly to his opponent's base, MarineKing Prime's base right here. There are a lot of Marines though, so airplay may not be too effective here. First unit is going to be a Void Ray with a Chrono Boost. He can also warp in a bunch of Stalkers or Sentries or Zealots very, very close to MarineKing Prime's base. That is one big, big benefit of having those warp gates researched. MarineKing Prime, let's look at harvester count just randomly here. 28 harvesters for CrunCher, 23 for MarineKing Prime, but you'll see he is slightly ahead in minerals whenever those mules do their return trip, so it looks like he is basically even with CrunCher right now. First Void Ray is complete. Let's go back to that production tab. We'll see a Siege Tank and a Banshee coming out. Haven't seen any research yet though. No Cloak, no Siege Tech, no Infernal Pre-Igniter, so just mass units for the time being. Let's look at the army size and value. We've got MarineKing Prime with 8 more supply total and a little bit more mineral value, a little bit less gas value. That is, of course, because of that first and second Void Ray that we've got going on here. And another pylon dropped very close to MarineKing Prime's ramp. Not close enough to actually warp in over here. I think that would be kind of clever or fun to do if you could just get this pylon a little bit closer and do some warp-ins up in their base. That's always fun because then you bypass that wall directly. Looks like he does just want to outrange those Marines and tanks from the ledge though. If you built that any closer, they might have a chance to actually kill that pylon off. So, oh, this is nice. This is sort of like a Baneling bust, but the Protoss equivalent of it, gunning down that reactor as fast as it can, and it looks like MarineKing Prime is going to be a little bit too slow to try and react here. He pulls a ton of SCVs to come repair, but that thing goes down anyways. So now, not only does MarineKing Prime no longer have a reactor that's going to mess up his Marine queue here, but his wall off is totally open right now. There are 3 Void Rays, a couple of Stalkers, Sentries, and Zealots here as well. Ooh, but look at all these units from MarineKing Prime. Look like they want to get into fighting mode. Good force field there by CrunCher. He obviously does not have enough units right now to be able to fight this off. 3 Siege Tanks, a Banshee, and a ton of Marines. Still no research going on for MarineKing Prime, just more units. Viking coming out as well, Siege Tank, and more Marines, as you would expect from MarineKing Prime. So, looks like Void Ray number 4 is being built over here at this very close positioned Stargate. Another Nexus coming down at the natural here for CrunCher. He does have 3 warp gates total back at home, so 3 warp gates and a single Stargate. Looks like MarineKing Prime is finally going to get down here and take out this pylon. Is it going to block CrunCher? Yes, in fact it does, but this Void Ray is going to finish anyway because there was enough supply when it started. So now we have 4 Void Rays for CrunCher. Still have a little handful of tier 1 units over here. MarineKing Prime is going to start to move, it looks like, with a lot of Marines, tanks, and a Viking and Banshee combination there in the sky. So that could be interesting to try and take out those Void Rays quickly. Oh, looks like a Void Ray is going to get caught actually by those Marines and these 2 Vikings. I don't think CrunCher is going to be able to save this Void Ray. Even if he turned around with all of them to try and kill those Vikings, they would just bait it back into that Marine fire. But now we've got a big battle about to occur here. One more Phoenix in the air now for CrunCher as well. But here we go. This could be a huge encounter. Guardian Shield goes up, which of course is a great idea. Siege Tech was finished, and he sieges up with plenty of time. He is slamming the ground right now with these Siege Tanks. A Phoenix did lift a Siege Tank for a little bit, but those Vikings did kill it off quite quickly. Now there are no Marines left here. Viking is the only anti-air left for MarineKing Prime. If he can actually get that Viking down, these Void Rays will have free reign on all of these Siege Tanks. That is huge. MarineKing Prime is forced to unsiege and run back through the middle of the map. He does have 2 Marines here now. Another Phoenix out for CrunCher. It should be able to kill off this Viking no problem. And now those Marines going down to the charged up Void Rays as well. That first and second tank both go down, so now CrunCher totally on the offense here. If we look at army value now, we see CrunCher is ahead on supply and way ahead on value. So here he is going to probably just march right up this ramp. There's still not been another add-on on that barracks, so he's actually going to be able to walk in there if he feels like it. He doesn't even really need to, as these Phoenixes are providing vision for the units down on the low ground. Now he marches up through. There's a huge hole in this wall off. Lots of Marines, maybe 4 or 5 Marines, 2 siege tanks being lifted. That is great. Just having 2 Phoenixes along with the ride actually may have won him this game. If those tanks were both sieged and firing constantly on those gateway units, I think he probably would have lost them all. All the SCVs being pulled as well to try and kill these stalkers. MarineKing Prime, GG's. He only had a handful of workers left there at the end. It was 27 for CrunCher, 15 for MarineKing Prime. He never had a chance to expand, while CrunCher did, even though he never got that Nexus. Actually, it looks like he canceled it. But yeah, CrunCher just holding off another great defense there. Phoenix is really helping out with those siege tanks, and then eventually coming all the way up here to help out with the attack, lifting siege tanks and breaking up that defense from MarineKing Prime. So great little best of 3 series there from Complexity CrunCher. It's always a joy to be able to watch South Korean players play as well, even if they don't win. So thank you very much for watching this cast, and I'll be back soon with some more casts and some great content from Major League Gaming Dallas in the very near future.